It's the 26th of July. We have gotten to our first league game of the top flight in Hungarian football. We are apparently delighting the board and the fans with our commitment to developing players using the club's youth system. However, we've made some signings since we last met, and the Euros have happened too. So I'm going to go over the Euros first and foremost. So the Euros was like this. We saw Turkey win their group with Germany, Switzerland and Scotland. Scotland getting obliteration in their group, unfortunately. Turkey winning all 3 games was a surprise. But in Group B, we saw England and Croatia go through, where North Macedonia beat the Czech Republic and finished ahead of them in the group, which was a big shock as well. In Group C, we saw Hungary finish bottom of their group, which tells me just how big of a challenge I've got if I'm going to take this on in the national team in the future. Group D was the shock of the tournament. Italy won the group. France and Slovenia got second and third. Portugal finished bottom of their group, and I actually cannot believe it. I didn't realize that actually happened, but okay. Group E, we saw Spain and Belgium go through. Slovakia and Poland were knocked out. While in Group F, we saw Denmark top a group which had the Netherlands and Ukraine in it. Bulgaria finished with no points. And then we're going to go over the knockout rounds very quickly because big things have happened. Belgium were knocked out by France. Denmark beat Romania. England were knocked out by Switzerland. Turkey were knocked out by Sweden. Austria knocked out Ukraine. Germany only got through on penalties against Croatia. Slovenia were knocked out by Spain, and the Netherlands knocked out Italy. In the quarterfinals, Denmark knocked out France, Sweden knocked out Switzerland, Germany went through an extra time against Austria, Spain were knocked out by the Netherlands. In the semi-final, Denmark were knocked out by Sweden, Germany were knocked out by the Netherlands on extra time, and then the Netherlands won the Euros 1-0, beating Sweden in the final. And there's a reason I'm talking about Sweden, because we signed one of their players. Even if the player who we have signed didn't start for them or come off on the bench. So there's a few options to talk about there. But the first player we signed was Vinko Metamoritz. We signed him for 19k and I thought I was getting a bargain for this guy. He's a good player for our division. Yes, there's a few cons in this where he doesn't like big matches and is inconsistent, but I think I can look past this considering what else we have managed to bring in so far. The next person we signed was Murat Zenzeni, and we're going to be using him as a left winger. He's a decent player for the division we're in, though he can still improve to become a leading player in the future. Though admittedly, that's as an attacking midfielder, which I don't plan on using him in the position for, though if I needed him to, he could absolutely be an outstanding shadow striker, and perhaps even be a striker one day. I don't plan on using him there right now, but as an inverted wing on support, he's got all the attributes I'm looking for, even if I can still improve him every now and again. He looks quite good. The next person we signed was Peter Chashan, and he apparently is not good enough for the division, though he's a good player for the second tier. He is consistent and was brought in to be a good squad player, a nice backup to say the least. Worth between £300,000 and £500,000. If we get that kind of money for him, that's great. It's just a shame he doesn't like big matches because he's really consistent otherwise. However, the person we signed from Sweden was Albin Ekdal, 34 years of age, very much brought in for his experience, likes big matches, is consistent, has a resolute personality, has a lot of international caps. Yes, he might only be a decent player for the top flight, but for 1 year, he could be really, really useful. We're paying him 4.5 grand a week, though he didn't have a club, so it made sense to bring in his experience. I didn't even realize he was still playing in the Euros until after I signed him. So that shows you how much I was not paying attention to the Euros once Hungary was knocked out. Though he likes to dictate the tempo and likes to bring the ball out of the fence, so clearly someone we can rely on for the possession kind of game we're looking for. The next person we signed was a new striker, Carlo Igor Majic. He doesn't like big matches. That's a thing I will acknowledge. I have a lot of problems with players not liking big matches right now or being inconsistent. It's one of the two. Though he is very consistent, a good player for the division, and I think he could do a good job for us. Now, admittedly, We're going to be using him as an advanced forward. He will be starting for us, and I said that despite the fact that I wasn't planning on getting a new striker, I felt like for 1.6 grand a week, it made sense. We also only paid 26 grand for his services. He got 22 goals in Croatia's second tier last year, so maybe I should just be happy with the fact I've got him, you know? Yeah, never mind. He only played the third tier last year, but he was really good in front of goals, so if we can get those kind of numbers out of him, then happy days. We're doing well. If we compare him to our main striker of last year, there isn't a world of difference, I think, in terms of their quality. Babel is better in the air and defensively, but I like what I have with Majic, so it's a very good compromise. And we've got two strikers who can push each other now for the first team. So I like the competition, and I like the fact we've got these two talents who could be really good. So perhaps my best signing is Michael Brauer. We signed him from Hercules for 79 grand. He is a leading player for the division and is consistent. Yes, he's only a balanced personality, but that really doesn't matter. He has no flaws outside of that. We're paying 4.3 grand a week, admittedly, though for his ability and the fact we've now got a very good goalkeeper who's considered our key player now, I think he's worth the money we're paying him right now. I really do. I don't think we could have got hit badly with this one, and it made sense long term to get this guy in. 31 years of age, gives us experience at the back, and can help the younger talent get better overall, I think, with his experience. Alion Aberdor is our starting left back for this year. I like him. He is a good talent with a lot of international experience playing for his national team. And well, we've got someone from a nationality I've never used before. So as far as I'm concerned, he made sense to bring this guy in. And also with his experience internationally and otherwise, we got someone who can do good things. He's a good player for the division. He's close to his full potential, but he's consistent as well. And the international experience will help us in the more difficult games. And then we brought in two more defenders on loan. Uros Lazic being the first of those two players. He's on loan from Red Star. We're paying just £210 a week for his services, which I thought was a bargain, quite frankly. He's a good player for the division, and he's consistent. Yes, he's young, but for what we're looking for, he fits us perfectly. And if he doesn't work out, we got Demian Dusort, who we're paying 1.3 grand a week to have on loan from Romania. And again, really good fullback and can play in both left and right back positions. So if we need to chop and change a few things around, we've got options. And I'm delighted with the fact we've got these options. He's consistent, he likes big matches, and he's fairly ambitious, which is really useful for the team. He also is a good player for the division. So plenty of good talent we've brought in so far. We have started to bring in some money as well. We've got rid of Norbert, and he's now playing in the second tier of Hungarian football. I didn't feel like we needed him anymore. He wasn't really good enough for us. And yeah, only a decent player by our backroom staff's ideas and recruitment team's estimates. So as far as I was concerned, I didn't need him anymore. He didn't fit what I was looking for to do. And he was only going to be a backup at best and nothing more. And when the bid came in for him, I thought, you know what, 32 grand for him feels like a good deal. And we are also going to be selling Attila Lorizzi for another 30 odd grand. He's leaving us for Sokdel. It made sense to get rid of him. He was unhappy with the fact that we brought in some of these talents coming through, and he thought he was being replaced. And I thought, you know what, if you're going to do that, at your age and your ability, it makes sense to let him go. He's only considered a decent second tier player. He was concerned about being replaced, and he talked himself into being moved on, which is very awkward, but it is what it is. He did it to himself, really. Unfortunately, Bertrand Busquet is unhappy because I turned down a move which would allow him to go to Saudi Arabia, because of course it is. Apparently he wants to go play for a better team. I don't see the players here that could be better, quite frankly, but you do you. Even if there are some good players, actually, to be fair, but I just wasn't keen on letting him go, quite frankly. It made no sense in my mind. So thanks, Saudi, for being a pain in the backside and trying to get my best player to leave me. It would take a good bid to even get me to consider sending him at this point. It really would. But yes, Kisvada is our first game. We're the opening fixture of the entire league. So after us, we'll see how much we're paying in wages compared to everyone else in the league. So that'll be fun. And if we look at the first team, we've got plenty of new talent here. And it's almost a completely different squad. Pretty much all the players I have signed are involved in the squad in one way, shape or form, which is useful to say the least. The fact that my entire back line, back five in fact, are all different. Back six if you include the deep line playmaker, they're all different. The first time you see players that you recognise from last year is in midfield, and then you've only got 3 players from last year that got promoted that are starting in this game today. So it is what it is. We do have some recognisable names on the bench, mind you, so it's not like they're completely gone. It's just I don't think we can put all of them in. We're looking to sell some players or send the people out on loan, so there you go. There are some players I still want to bring in, like Barath, for example. I just don't want to pay £800,000 that Ferencváros are looking to get for him. As great as he is, I don't want to spend pretty much what would have been my entire budget on the guy when I don't want to be, you know, putting the club in the ground financially. That being said, we're down to £1.5 million now. We've only lost £300,000 this month, and that's our projected balance at the end of the season. This could go either one or two ways, really well or really badly, and I'm hoping it's the well thing, and I'm hoping that the expenditure is not going to come back to bite me in the backside. Before I do forget though, we actually are now predicted to finish in 9th place because of our bids, so that's good. Our signings have made us really good. Ferencváros are still by far and away the best team in the country on paper, so that's not a massive shock, but we're now 250 to 1 to win the league, which was better than the 400 to 1 when we got promoted, so we're making some good ground. Either way though, let's get into this first game of the season and see how my newly assembled team is going to do in the top flight of Hungarian football. I think we can do quite well here, but I might be a bit optimistic. Let's get going. This is going to be a weird moment for me, knowing that this is my first game in this division and it's at a smaller ground I'm used to, which says it all. But I think we've got a good opportunity to do good things here. I just don't know how we're going to do. Kisvada are expected to be in 6th place this year, so this could be a good team to take on to see where we stand as we look to survive in this division. Okay, so there's a highlight here. They got the throw, and I believe if we can get this back, we can do something dangerous here, though we've got to be smart with this, as my striker's just running all over the place trying to get the ball back. He's pressing quite consistently, but he's now giving up on the ghost, I think, realising it was not going to get him the ball. Though they are on the ball, passing around nicely, I think we can do good things. I just got to hope we do well. We get the ball back, though. That's good. Well intercepted. And now, Majic on the ball loses the ball, though we are going to try and get back there. We had an opportunity to do something there. We just wasted it, but we are getting the ball back. So, clearly we've got an opportunity to be very productive here as my left back goes forward. Can we keep the ball? Can we play it in the middle? We can. And Boxe goes for goal. Oh, he's hit the post early on. That was an opportunity to take the lead. Great opportunity. Maybe we'll regret this later. I hope we won't. We've had no shots on target yet, but we've had the match momentum on our side since that goal. Oh my God, that is a horrible mistake. And we've punished them. Carlo Igor Majic scores the opening goal of the game on his debut. We lead because they've absolutely gifted us a goal. Kisvada, what are you doing? Panic, what are you doing? This is a mightily bad mistake to make, and we are going to take advantage of it any day of the week. Thank you very much. We've got a goal kick now. We are actually, I think for the first time, really having a highlight that's starting our half, and that's not a good pass. We got gifted a goal earlier. Are we about to gift them a goal? I hope not. We are. Well, Spasic gets the equalising goal. I genuinely thought we weren't going to do this, though that was a bit of a mistake from our part. Oh dear. Lazic couldn't really get the ball there. It's unfortunate that we gifted him a goal. I think the team cohesion's not at its best right now, so potentially it could be what's causing these issues, but we need to stop that quickly. 1-0 at half time. We've not been terrible. I will say that. We've not been terrible. By the way, Kanekik is still injured. He's only on the bench because he's there, effectively, to make up the bodies. It's not been a terrible game so far. I'm not concerned by this. I'll take a point from here, honestly, if I can. So, happy days. They got a highlight very early on in the second half. I tell the players I was happy at half-time. Maybe I shouldn't have done. Nikolov on the ball. And... okay, he's getting the ball back. Nikolov actually being a pain in the backside there. Stepetics on the ball. Okay. We get the ball. We're not getting the ball, but we're not making it easy for them either. That being said, that's too much time and space on the ball there. I've kind of jinxed myself. They've hit the post, and we got lucky there. Wowzers. We've made 3 changes. I thought I might as well do the changes, and that's not a good pass from one of my substitutes. As we're trying to get the ball back, it's not worked out. They got an opportunity. It's being blocked. Good block in the end, actually. The question now is, can we do more? I feel like we've got an opportunity to get the ball away. We've just not done it yet. And there were some bad players. That's a good save, actually, in the end. But there are some players who are trying to do better. We need to be smart about this. They got a goal kick. That's actually a good pass out. I've brought on some of my younger talent now, who I think can bring us some energy that we might be missing. Though we've got to be very clever with the pass, with intercepting now, because I don't think we're going to have our way here. I might have to go back to balance. We've not really had the momentum this half, honestly, which is a bit of a shame. And if we can get momentum back, that'd be great. We only got the goal because they made an absolute howl over their free kick in the first place. So I don't think we're going to get a win here. They've looked good as they've hit the post again. Block shot, that's lucky. That is very, very lucky. Hopefully he's offside. No. It looks like he's offside, but it's not. That's unfortunate. It's literally... the fact it's bounced back to him is so annoying. The shot was blocked, it looked like. And then it just, deflected straight to the player. That's nothing you can do about that defensively. It's just unfortunate. They got a free kick. If they make it free, that would feel very harsh, I think. We've definitely been a good value for this game. I don't feel concerned about this at all. So, despite losing this game as things stand, we've not been terrible. I'm going to demand more, though, and try and get something from this, but I don't think much is going to happen as some players are pressured or frustrated by the feedback. Lovely. We didn't give her a penalty there, thankfully, but here we are now. That's a red card. That's a second yellow, and that's a player sent off. So we've done something, I suppose. I just wish we had, more time to take advantage of that. Sadly, we're not going to get the time, and sadly, we're going to lose our first game of the season in the top flight, but we made ourselves look good, I think, and it wasn't our worst game, even if their XG says otherwise. I think the XG is a bit skewed by the second goal, but it is what it is. We didn't look terrible. That's all I can ask for, really. Am I unlucky? Yeah, potentially, but is it the end of the world? Not really. We've got plenty of time to go. We've still got 32 games left of the season to turn this around. But still, it's not the end of the world. We did do some good things here. We just need to do better going forward, I think. And if we can do that, that's lovely stuff. What I'm going to do, though, is end this here. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys will like and share this video and that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a lot. But anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.